Passing seasons. Some people come to Earth not to be somebody important or noble, but to live somewhere beautiful, original, and breathtaking. In the richness and vastness of the universe, we not only can be anybody, but we can go anywhere. For me, I wanted to go to where I called home. I lived in the hills of what is now formerly called Yugoslavia. It was a land where I could breathe easy, tread with a light heart and a smile. The air was pure. The winters are cold but restful. I lived each day's cycle as I lived each season's cycle, with simplicity and regularity. It wasn't what some would call much of a life, but I had in my possession all the life I needed. I lived with my giant family. We had what some would call a compound, a piece of land with many small homes that resembled yurts. We had little by the looks of it, but we shared everything and had everything we needed. Each of us specialized in a job for the family that we took well to doing. One would care for and herd the goats. Another would grow grains and fruit. Another would care for the horses and bring them up for use. I made embroidery for weddings and funerals and other special occasions. I spent months making intricate pieces that would stay in a family for generations. Life was simple, but it was pleasant. While living, I didn't feel stressed or strained. The simplicity of my life made me feel like everyone's life was the same. I didn't know that people were struggling in the surrounding areas. I did not know about war or grumblings of war. My family, routine, and facts of life were all I knew. Then one day I saw planes flying overhead. The planes flew back and forth in steady flight paths. I've never seen a plane before. I didn't know what a plane was until I laid my eyes on it. I didn't even know the word plane. I was not scared or uneasy. I was curious, but I was so uninformed that I had no suspicions. I never thought that a stranger's actions could have a direct impact on me. So I went about my business as I had done before. I was completely unaware of the fall of the surrounding nation. I did not have a political or national identity. As far as I was concerned, the only identity I had was my name and family history. Our family was so isolated that we did not know that power changed hands in our country. None of us knew who was fighting and why. We did not know why people could be so unhappy as to kill one another. We did not know that people divided their identities so harshly as it divided their nation. It wasn't until a traveller arrived on horseback. The traveller was passing through and he asked to stay with us to rest and get food. He was an American, but he spoke our language. He told us about the wars and conflict that attained international attention. Even the Americans were involved, he said. I didn't know who or what an American was and why they were involved in resolving the conflict. Apparently things had gotten so bad that other nations had to stop the warring in the lands. We gave the American traveller goat's milk, dried meat and dried fruit for his journey. He told us not to venture away from our land because there were people being put in encampments and being slaughtered. He said staying put kept us safe, but to be safe, one must know the threat of danger. As far as we knew, we were at one with our land. Our land provided everything we needed, and we were a part of it. We didn't feel foreign or unnatural to the land. How could we feel unsafe? I have never been married. I lived amongst my family. The streams and ponds in the vicinity were the furthest we've travelled. We occasionally met people who would walk along the paths that led to our homes. We lived for years in isolation, but then, as the children grew, their minds wandered beyond the lands we depended on and they went afar. They came back and said that there was no more war, but the effects of the war ravaged the cities and the people. Many, they said, escaped to other countries seeking asylum. For these people, they felt that our land was hostile territory. But the land is not hostile. It is peaceful. It is calm. No territory is hostile to those who make their home in it. The lands take in a person as if absorbing them into the landscape. What makes any place hostile are the people. I did not understand how people create problems for others and for themselves. I guessed people had to look for problems in order to recognize them. You cannot find a solution to a problem. Abandon the problem completely. Who started these problems? Why do the problems keep perpetuating? Who gives unstable men positions of authority? Who gives power to dishonest men? I do not know the answers to these questions. I have seen the miracle of life come into this world. On this side of creation, women give everyone life. We all deserve to live, to experience a life, and to tell our own stories. We do not need to burden ourselves with troubles that enter our minds to deceive. In times of uncertainty, I focus on what is true. The running of the icy river that I put my hand into, the wetness of the grass beneath my feet, the brightness of the stars that flicker in the dark sky, the smell of the flowers, and the touch of a child's hand. When I focus on these things, I lose sight of the troubles and merge into the consciousness of the planet. I feel the moving of the planet, the cycle of the times, and the changes that occur within all of us as we evolve through the rhythmic dance of life. A horse will keep you present when they look you in the eyes. A child will keep you focused when they command your hugs. Your hunger will drive you to search for food and make it. What else is there to focus on when living begs for your engagement? I did not live to be ancient, having died before I was 61. I was in my home. The fire was cooking, and I suddenly lost consciousness. They had found me fallen on the floor, and they mourned my passing. As I moved away from my body, I lifted above the arrangement of homes below, the pigs wandering around in the field just beyond, and I noticed the greenness of the hills. It was my time to go. My heart beckoned me to another place beyond the forest pines of my former home. I reached the end of my experience. For every beginning there is an end. For everything we begin, there is an end. When we're living, we always forget that. We don't know when we've started something that it will end. We've illusioned ourselves to believe that it will go on forever. Nothing that we experience lasts forever. Wars start and they end. Men build a kingdom and it ends. Like a passing season, a lifetime begins and it ends. The question is, are we aware of it while we're in it?